Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
Because we can. What's going on, Voodies? Another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast, and today it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to bring our guest in, but before we do, we got to give you a couple updates. Right over my shoulder, the VooDoo Chef, all black, unlucky, lucky 13, whatever shirt you want to call it, on special just for Father's Day. Make sure you log on to VooDooChef.com and check it out. Eddie C., we're hanging out, man. Today's going to be a cool day. I can't wait. But before we do, you know, you and I, we get in here and we joke and laugh before we start the podcast. Dude, you got to tell the story about the student who didn't know the difference between imported and important.
Well,
I mean, what is this, man? Is this a sign of the times? Is it coming to this?
I don't know, man. Shit like that makes me think either I'm not doing enough drugs or
everybody else is doing too many.
Yeah, there's like these moments where you just want to give up on life and walk out on Dale Mabry and hope that one of the tankers coming from Port Tampa just hamburgers you. But
that's insane, man. The difference between imported and important, they're two totally different words.
Yeah, I mean, well, I get it that there's a root word in there, but it was, there was a question. It was.
I think the root stopped growing, and we might need to water that child so they continue to grow.
Dude, she needed to carry around a potted plant to replace the oxygen she's wasting. It's good that I don't do these things in the evening after I've had a couple. So I had to think for a second, and, I start to go, why does this child not have enough life experience to at least recognize that they're different things? Because the question is, what is a name for a tax on imported goods? It's a tariff. So she said important goods, and she said, no, it's imported. She said, well, I don't know which is which. And I just,
how do we know which ones are important and which ones aren't?
Yeah, that was exactly it. Well, how can you tell? And I kept having to like go and dig my chompers into my lips so that I didn't say something that was going to get me a phone call from, the boss's boss.
Oh yeah, so we don't want that.
No, there are too many new folks running around or they don't know me. So, I finally explained it, and I think she got it, but it was just the idea that they always bitch about when you teach reading and context clues. I really had no idea other than to just go old school and think of a dictionary definition of each. So.
Well, you're way more kind than I am. I probably would have cut a old school wrestling promo on them and just told them what a genius they really are. But, you hear these stories all the time that teachers tell, and it doesn't matter what the story is. Most times, no matter how, we can't make the shit up. I mean, people go, that didn't really happen. No, it really did. We really do face these challenges, and I don't know how the hell we get to the point where light bulbs finally go off or whatever it is. But man, some of these people are true geniuses, and I am hopefully everybody's catching that underlying sarcasm there.
I'm just chalking it up anymore to it's like it's a willful ignorance, and I hate to blame everything on technology, but I'm going to have to look up this quote later that I found, but somebody said it's because devices they start to know you better than anyone else. And when I find it, because I want to say the quote was from somebody in the food world. I got to find this if I can at some point, and then I'll bring it back up. But that's what happens is it's so easy to engage with these that I see this all the time. Actually having face-to-face conversations with kids, they look at you and they're kind of like,
It's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Yeah.
At least I have food that I could throw at them. While you're looking that quote up, I do want to let everybody know a lot of things going on with VooDoo and VooDoo Chef. Make sure you follow all the social media pages. You can find everything at VooDoo Chef 13 on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Insta, your TikTok. I'd love to tell you we're putting up TikToks. I don't even know what the hell that is. My daughter has TikTok, so I'm like, all right, what the fuck's TikTok? And we even have Snapchat. I don't know how to fucking use Snapchat, but there's a Snapchat out there as well. Also, some other pages that we have, make sure you check out VooDoo Chef Society on Insta. We're getting ready to do a whole bunch of cool things. The world's opening back up as we're moving and shaking here.
Yeah.
And, it's about time to get a little voodoo out there in everybody's face and do some new cool stuff. So log on to Instagram, VooDoo Chef Society, and get ready to taste the magic yourself, because we're about to bring voodoo to the streets and see what everybody is what they're in for, and get us all together and start to socialize again. While Eddie C's looking up that quote, I think it's time to go ahead and bring our first guest into the room. Did you find it, Eddie C?
I did, actually.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it, man.
It was by Tyler Florence, and somebody had sent him a link that said there was a new study that suggests a causal link between smartphone reliance and depression. And he said, because algorithms begin to know your children better than anyone else. Devices literally become their one and only best friend. It always wants to engage. It knows exactly what you want to watch or play, and it never passes judgment. Depression comes from lack of human connection. And, I got to believe the guy. I mean, whether or not you like him or not, he's probably made his bones in the culinary industry, and we know that it can be rough and mentally taxing, because the attention to detail and skill set needed by chefs. Matter of fact, in one of the classes I teach online, it said of all the jobs in the restaurant, that is the one that requires the most diverse skills, is the chef. Not the fucking manager, obviously not the hostess, nobody else, the chef. And I never thought about it like that, and I thought, well, shit, you're right. I always think back to my first job, but those guys, that's a bad example, because they were fighting and cursing and everything else. But of course, by the end of the night, they were sending, one of them was going down to the back bar to get beer. It was like everything was forgotten. They were calling each other names that you just can't mention. I mean, this was like 1984, 85. So
those were the days, man.
Yeah, it was.
They say the kitchen's organized chaos. You hear cooks and chefs say we go to war together every night, and we do, and we throw every name in the book, and you're arguing and fighting and bitching and moaning to get this food out, and at the end of the day, you're right, dude. Let's go have a beer, man.
Yeah.
And the camaraderie begins. We got a member of the hospitality industry joining us tonight, and I'm really, really super stoked. I can't tell you how excited I am. We have a great guest tonight. We're going to bring him in right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ruby Red Munro to the podcast. Ruby and I go way back, and Ruby burst onto the San Francisco drag scene in 2015 and has been blowing it up ever since. Ruby was crowned Miss Golden State Panache 2017, Miss Gay San Francisco 2017, and she performs almost nightly in San Francisco, but also travels anywhere that anyone wants to have her skill set come perform. Ruby, thank you so much for taking time to be here today.
Oh, I mean, I'm very busy in my schedule, but thank you. I'm glad I can make some time.
No, we go way back, and you know, I want, before anything, I want to tell you how proud I am of all your success. You know, you never cease to amaze me in everything you do. Very proud of you. You look absolutely amazing. Tell us how you got started in performing. And you're not allowed, you don't start crying. You're going to cry? What the fuck?
No, I'm not crying. My lash is just falling down. No, we're fine. Let me just pay attention.
So tell us how you got started performing.
So I went to one of my friends who's a drag queen in San Francisco was like, you should do drag. First of all, hi guys, good to see you. One of my friends said, oh, you should do drag. And I'm like, no, I would never wear a dress. That's garbage. Ugh. And then we went to this thing called the Red Dress Party in Sacramento, which is where you have to wear a dress. It doesn't matter if you're a clown, drag queen, boy, girl, in between, whatever you want to do, you wear a dress. And it raises a bunch of money for AIDS research. It was a ton of fun. There was like 500 people there, and everybody was in a red dress. I, with my normal hair, looked like Ellen DeGeneres in a dress. So you can only imagine what that looks like. It was a good time. And then after, I was like, okay, I could do it. And the first time I did drag, I invited everybody I knew, and I made like $500 in a night. And I was like, fuck a real job. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And then I don't have to tax it? Oh, this is great. And so then I realized how much more expensive it is after the fact that happened.
And, you know, that's one of the things I wanted to point out. You're like Ric Flair. You're styling, you're profiling. You got this big fur robe, and you throw it on the ground, and you just destroy. You always look like $1 million. I mean,
it takes a lot of money to look this cheap.
Get some cash to look that damn good.
Right. I mean, thankfully I have a real job. So there's that. That really gets in the way of like my social life. But other than that, it's great. Works for me.
Hey, speaking of your social life, you recently put a job posting out, man. What was that all about? You were looking for something, and you posted. What were you trying to hire or capture?
I'm not hiring. Let's clarify that. There's no hiring of anything. I am looking for a man in these trying times. I can't go out and be a streetwalker like I usually am, so I have to do it all from the internet. So we just ask a small few interview questions, and we just kind of weed out candidates from there.
Well, you had some prerequisites. What were they?
You have to, your financial aid via unemployment has to be going through. You have to look great in gray sweatpants. And ideally don't live with your parents. Like I don't ask for much.
Well, I thought, weren't you requesting W-2s and pay stubs?
Yeah, let me make sure you don't have a lot of debt first. And then
Can't have anybody ruining that credit.
We'll talk about it. Right.
What are you drinking tonight?
It's a White Claw. It was the fastest thing I could grab in my fridge.
What happened to the vodka?
I may have finished it. Whoopsies.
All right, so tell us, I'm very curious, how long does it take you to get ready for a show?
Usually about 3 hours. Yeah, so from start to finish, from like jumping in the shower, there's a good 3 hour gap until then.
And that's got to be insane. I mean, you mentioned that you have a daytime gig. Tell us the challenges. I mean, everybody loves performing. Everybody loves to be on stage, and you're obviously loved to be able to work as many nights as you do and win the awards you win. Mm-hmm. How challenging is that? I mean, how do you make that work?
It's exhausting. There's a lot of Advil going on.
But that's in the morning after the vodka at night.
Even before, there's sometimes I do it before just because I know it's going to be rough. Like I host a weekly show on Monday nights. Mind you, I usually work Monday through Friday. I'll get to work at like, I say 8. I get there at 8:59 because my first meeting's at 9. And then I leave at like 5, 6, 7-ish. And then I have a show usually every Monday at 10 o'clock. And so coming home, you literally run home, shower as fast as possible, maybe say hi to the dog, And then I get ready and I go back out and I get trashed. And then I call Uber home at like midnight, maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I have to be back up at 7 the next day.
At 23 years old, that's not a challenge for you, right?
Very generous. At the aging 30 that I am, it's a little different. It hurts. Oh yeah, 2 years ago, I used to do this shit quick. I would do it all the time, and I would no big deal. Now I'm like, oh, this is rough. And I'll be in meetings in the morning chipping my nails off because I wear like nail polish. Yeah. If you see me with heavy eyeliner in the morning, no, I was not. Just don't question it.
So tell us some. Well, tell the VooDoo world some of the places that you've performed, because you know a lot of people think it's just club life. You do private events. You've flown to different countries.
I've been to the farthest I've been was Scotland. Yeah, I was doing a brunch in San Francisco, and these homosexuals that were getting married were like, "Hey, you're great." I'm like, "Hey, you're drunk. Good. What's up?" And then they're like, "We should have you at our wedding." And I'm like, I've heard that many times. So I'd be like, "Oh, yeah, sure." Like, do you check? Because mind you, if you got a check, I got a talent. There's a big difference there. So I said, absolutely, sure, let's do it. And then all of a sudden, like 3 weeks later, they sent me a flight itinerary, and I was like, "Oh, you were serious? Oh, you weren't. Oh, okay." And then, yeah, that was just one of the first. I've been to, I don't know how many states. I've definitely been all over California.
We were so trying to get you to come in for VooDoo Bash before this COVID shit. And that would have been like so much fun to have you emceeing. As we get back and get going, maybe you come down and hang out and party with us. I know you definitely support the mission of sending people to school.
Yeah.
But I'm interested.
Schooling got me. Hello. Don't you do it for your children?
Ruby, you're a rock star. Tell me the strangest show you've ever had, and what made it strange?
Strangest. There's a lot of weird shit in the world.
Strangest audience, strangest venue.
I think I remember one of the first times, because I've hosted a lot of shows now, and it's gotten a lot easier. When I first started hosting shows, and like I didn't really know how to talk on a microphone, and I wasn't very confident in it, so I was always like, "Hi guys, how you doing?" And if they're like happy-go-lucky, great. If they're just like, "Who is that giant man in a wig that's 7 feet tall?" That's different to react to. That like you go out on the minute you walk out from whatever back room or whatever you're in, sucking dick or getting ready in, you go out and you say, "Hi, I'm ready to perform," or do whatever I'm doing, and you expect that same energy like reciprocated. Right. It's not always, and there are times that they're just stone cold. "Hi, what do you want?" And it gets really uncomfortable. But making it past that mark is when I knew I could actually do this bullshit.
So how about the uptight, stuffy dude who doesn't want to be in the room? Yeah. His friends brought him there. Please tell me you fuck with those people.
You're getting picked on the most. Absolutely. Yep. You were. If you want to act like I don't exist, okay. You know, my friends have had throw money on. I've had people throw money on their friends just for me to like grab it and sexually harass them. Mind you, as a boy, and if I did this stuff as a boy, I'd be Matt Lauer. If I do this as a drag queen, oh bitch, I'm the funniest thing since like very different. Though, like if I was just a random dude walking down the street and decided, yeah, I would like to touch your husband's crotch, I would probably go to prison. As a drag queen, these wives are literally like handing me their debit cards, like just take my money, sexually harass my husband, and I.
Okay.
You're right. Okay, sure. Oh, you have money? Okay, fuck it. Yeah, I'll do whatever you want.
That's hysterical. Hey, I want to ask you some real shit. You know, we pre-record the show, and you know, Florida's still on lockdown, and you're out in San Francisco. You guys are on hardcore lockdown. You know, San Francisco is a challenging place as it is. You got the pretty severe homeless population. Now you guys are on a mad lockdown. What's that really like out there for people over here on the East Coast?
Very quiet. Yeah, very quiet. Like and there's a lot of, mask shaming. If you don't wear a mask, like we will, probably punch you in the face. Words. If you are outside, if you're like with more than one person that you clearly don't live with, somebody's going to drag you on the internet just for fun. I mean, it's given me a lot of time. I've definitely fucked with people that are going outside because I'm just bitter and angry and I don't have anything else to do. So if you yell at a Trump supporter, or I'll yell at you for going outside the house. Either, got two options. It's just really weird here. We don't know when it's gonna end. There's no if we had great leadership, we may know like when we can go back to work or when we can go do anything that we used to do. And now we have no freaking clue. So
now here in Florida, they're opening us up. Restaurants are back opening. You guys have none of that still, right?
We are to go. Do not leave your house. Do not leave your car. No, there's no. Allegedly, retail stores are supposed to open up, I guess, within a week or so, but they're only for curbside pickup. If a retail store is in a mall, how do you curbside pick up that?
How are you living without the mall?
Great. Well, since I am a beautiful 6'8" woman, all of my stuff is custom made, so I really don't know.
Again, back to styling and profiling.
Right. I have copious amounts of designers, thank God, that keep me looking semi-normal.
We were talking earlier, and you were telling me about your custom wigs. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
This shit came right out of a bag. But some of my other hair, I've spent a lot.
You have your own designer. Come on.
I mean, I have 4, but whatever. I have definitely invested a lot of fucking money in the last house I lived in. I felt like I needed a drag room, which probably wasn't necessary, but
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I mean, I left that apartment, which is bullshit, but whole nother story. But I spent a good chunk of change just to make sure that I had, because I mean, if you're going to spend this much money on an investment, you're not just going to if somebody's spending $10,000 on plants, you think they're going to buy a greenhouse? Probably.
If you're going to do it right.
Right. So that was my opinion. Now I'm just an idiot that just throws shit in a bag and still knows that somebody's going to book me. So
You're so. Tell us where we can find you on social media before we forget about covering that.
You can find me on Craigslist at, I'm just
I got to write all this down.
on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Christian Mingle, blackpeoplemeet.com, wherever at Miss_Ruby Red on Instagram or Ruby Red Munro on Facebook.
So how did you get your app onto Christian Mingle?
Well, I mean, my Bible study group really convinced me to get there. And through the search and mission of finding a good Christian husband that likes to black out with me. The niche market for cross-dressers is not really the biggest right now. So it's been quite the challenge, but through alcohol and God, all things can be done, or something, whatever that quote is. Through Christ.
That's you, yeah.
Fuck it. I don't know. I'm gonna be single forever. It's fine. My mom's real happy about it.
So Ruby, you're home right now, and you got to be into this pop culture scene.
Yeah.
Right now, the whole word is, Netflix, all these reality shows. Please tell me, did Carol Baskins kill her husband?
Bitch, she killed him. She killed him quick. Yep, she put him right in that tiger cage and she whooped his ass. She said, I didn't do it. What's funny is because living in Florida previously, I have been to Big Cat Rescue. On a field trip, specifically, like a full-funded field trip. Took my little gay ass to the murder scene itself. I believe she done did it. Joe is an idiot, an absolute idiot, but Carol definitely killed her husband.
Oh, I think the best, I haven't seen the show yet, but the best thing I read was
what the fuck?
the comedian JB Smoove, he said, you totally know that she killed him. All she probably did was sprinkle some Lowry seasoning salt in his pocket, and the lions just pounced.
Right. You want a new spin on your show? She put that VooDoo Chef dirt on his seat and on his foot, and he ate it all the way up.
Official seasoning of Big Cat Rescue. Wow.
VooDoo Chef does not support Carol Baskins. I would support Joe Exotic before that bitch.
Oh, I saw there was the bus outside of Trump Tower today in New York City. They're trying to get a presidential pardon for him. Not too sure about that one.
Joe Exotic's going for a presidential pardon. You gotta love it.
Joe Exotic, if you don't know, Joe ran for president. Did you know this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe ran for president, and then that didn't work, so he ran for governor. And that didn't work, so he made condoms with his name on them and his face on them. What a absolute animal. No, I've done some weird shit in my day, but that's different level.
Joe Exotic makes
he
you
rates,
like, Leave It to Beaver.
he rates right up there with Dennis Rodman. They need to connect and go hang out with that South Korean fat fucking North Korean whatever guy he is. Who the fuck knows? Okay. And do their thing. All right, so I gotta ask you, man. 90 Day Fiance, do Rose and whatever that little no-neck guy, do they make it?
How can you forget his name? His name's Ed too.
His name's Big Ed. Big Eddie C.
Yeah,
that's not something to be proud of. I wouldn't want to share. One, I wouldn't want to share my name with him. Two, gay people couldn't get married until 5 fucking minutes ago, and now this man with no neck is allowed to just marry this mail order bride-ish moment. Fuck off. I can't. People can get married. What is this, like a blind person app now? I can't. I'm done. There's no.
So
deal breakers of rules.
Ruby, what if you're saying you would not appreciate if I sent you a cameo from Big Ed?
No. No. I mean that's nice, but
I was gonna get that for your birthday.
Oh, dream bigger. Jesus Christ. No. He just looks like he has breathing problems. Like you wake up in the morning and there's
I resemble that remark.
Full mask next to his bed.
I resemble that remark.
Listen, that was not a big girl joke. That was just structurally, he doesn't look good.
No, there's some dwarfism or something going on there. I mean,
oh man.
Possibly mixed with part horse, like something is off. I don't
yeah, there's something improper going on in the gene pool.
I don't care how blacked out I am, I'm never touching that man.
Big Ed's not an option?
Absolutely not. Big Ed, little Ed, side Ed, absolutely not. Nope.
Fuck, I gotta rethink your birthday gift. All right. What reality show are you watching right now? What are you hitting up? What are you looking at?
I watch all the Housewives for sure.
That might help you in pop culture trivia.
Yeah, Live. I watch every season, even the shitty ones.
We just got done with Miami. Not that I watch that show.
Real Housewives of Miami?
Yeah, not that I watch that show, but we just finished that one.
That filmed about 15 years ago.
Let's not cloud the issue with facts.
Oh, goodness.
We're a little behind the times, but okay, got it.
I'm a fan of Miami, as you know.
Fun fact.
You should know I'm a fan of Miami.
I appreciate that, but they also didn't live in Miami. They lived in Brickell and Coral Gables and a lot of other places that were not as.
It was called Miami, and Scottie Pippen's wife, now ex-wife, was on the show. And
I forget her name.
What was with that lady's face?
Which one?
In Real Housewives of Miami, the oldest lady. What was that?
Ooh, that's a lot of surgery gone wrong. She died. Rest in peace.
Did she?
Yeah, I mean.
What?
Oh man, don't tell Angelina. Angelina loves that lady.
I've already ruined Angelina's life enough. It's fine.
Did you break her arm?
I did not. She fell.
I wasn't sure if you heard that.
Yep, I will never be able to not forget that. Yep. Nobody even cares. Only Atlanta, Beverly Hills, and New York pops up. Yeah, she died. She's old. That's what a bunch of surgery in your face looks like after about 50 years of it. That
was horrible. She looked like somebody hit her in the face with a shovel.
Ooh.
You're not wrong, but damn.
Not wrong, but damn, yeah.
All right, so we used to play this game called Top 3, and we used to do the Final 5. I would love to do Top 3 with you, and then do a Final 5 question before we get into some trivia, just so people get a little better glimpse into Ruby. Before we do, I got to ask, what's your favorite cocktail? And I mean alcoholic beverage, not promiscuous story.
Not a cocktail. I am definitely a kettle peach and Sprite at a very large glass. It's refreshing. I can get tanked. It's,
You know, there's an easier way to do that.
oh yeah. I also have installed a wine fridge next to where I get ready, so it's very convenient. And by wine fridge, I mean it holds like a hanger of Fireball and drinks like this stupid shit. There's like one bottle of water in there.
Is there alcohol in that thing?
Yep.
Okay, so fun fact.
That's hard.
Let me clarify, this is my 4th one. But I started getting ready, and then I said, well, we might as well drink while we're here. It's
Just so you know, this one's empty. I'm with you.
You can still hear your words. No, you're not doing enough. Drink up.
All right, so all right, let's do our top 3. Now, I did send you the top 3 in advance so that you can prepare and get your top 3.
Yeah.
Top 3 things that we like to do in our spare time. Me, I'm going to tell you, number 1 is sleep. I don't get enough sleep. It's kind of overrated, but when I do have an extra minute, that would be my number 3, to catch a quick couple Z's. Eddie C., what's your number 3 thing to do in your spare time?
Well, I'm not too sure I have an order to these things, but playing whatever instrument I can grab, acoustic, electric, bass.
Thank you for clarifying, because I'm afraid where Ruby might have taken that one.
Right. With right now. But we'll talk. From the tits up, so good luck. Okay.
Ruby, number 3 thing you like to do in your spare time, and I am so nervous asking you this question.
Is this pre-COVID or is this after?
No, every normal life.
Oh, I miss making out with strangers. My mom would be really upset with that, but that was quite an enjoyable pastime.
Well, I'm not. Mom follows us on Facebook, but I don't think Mom watches the podcast, so we're okay.
Oh no! She watches a bunch of shit that I'll ever. Yeah, if I'm in anything, she'll find her way in it. Mm-hmm.
Well, Sinbad, I'm very sorry. I did not prompt that. You know,
Mom, I didn't say sucking dick. I said make out. But I missed that too. If we're talking about it. On the room thing.
You know, most people can't get me, but and I wanted you on the show. I begged you to come on the show.
You did want my donuts on here. Look at this symmetrical. Oh God. Okay.
All right, my number 2 favorite thing to do is play my guitar. I love playing my guitar. I will make time if we can't find time. I mean, all you got to do is look around VooDoo Studios here. I think we're upwards in 20 guitars now, and I always play the same 2, but it's nice to have all the extras around just to hang out. Eddie C., number 2, because I'm afraid to go to Ruby. We might bypass her.
Well,
as far as spare time?
Number 2 in your spare time.
Drinking good beer, man.
Because if number 3 was fucking making out, I'm afraid for number 2 and number 1. Drinking good beer. And Eddie C., you're a connoisseur of that beer. I drink dark beer from Tennessee.
I see that. No carbonation.
Sure.
No carb. All right, Ruby. Do I want to know?
No, it's PG. I miss baking, or I like baking. It's baking, cooking, something. I don't ever, my schedule is so, okay, clearly I've had enough to drink to where I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. My schedule is so busy that I never have time to really sit down and make an actual meal in general. So it's been nice to currently being able to just chill out and bake shit that I would never have the time or patience.
You made a kafluti the other day.
I keep calling it cauliflower. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it was lovely.
It was actually featured on Top Chef a couple weeks ago, and the winner from the previous season said Kaflouty. And then, Gail Simmons had to get in there. She goes, it's Kaflouti. It's French.
Yeah, I have no idea. I still don't know what the fuck it is. I made it. It was great. It turned out lovely. I had one for breakfast this morning, but whatever. I've made a strawberry shortcake. I've made creme brulee. I've made muffins for my dog.
I'm going to tell you, Angelina looked at me and goes, Ruby cooks? And I'm like, amazing. And I'm impressed with how much you cook.
Still can't find a man. Yeah, but I'm really great in the kitchen. Still can't fucking find anybody that wants to go home with this. Oh well.
That's the moneymaker right there.
I don't know why. I look like this. I have a pit bull that's not friendly. Why does nobody want to come home with me? I don't get it. Whatever.
Your dog is amazing. All right, my number one thing to do in my spare time is hang out with my family. Even if it's just sitting around, doing stupid things like playing Super Mario or just going for a drive and getting some fucking donuts, because donuts and a coffee fucking rock. And we might do that as soon as the podcast's over here. Just to hang out and have that time, it's amazing. And that's my number one. Eddie C., did I guilt you into saying the same thing, or are you going to say the casino?
No, I'm not that big on the casino, man. It's for me, it's probably just hanging at home. I haven't minded a lot of this stuff just because, it's low pressure. I mean, things are simple. I get to walk the dogs twice a day. I see what's going on in the neighborhood, wave hi to other people, and say, hey, I feel like I used to have my fill of socializing, teaching, and I would want to come home just to avoid everybody. Now it's the other way around, where I want to go out because I'm stuck in a box with a wife and 3 dogs. So I've realized I am more social than I thought, but I didn't realize it because work was my socializing. I was around hundreds, if not thousands, of kids and adults every day. So that's it. It is kind of hanging with family, hanging at home. We haven't seen any of them in a while. I went to St. Peter last night for my brother-in-law's birthday. They decided to come down. Thank God, it was nice to be around family and without wearing masks. So,
we all do pretty social things in our quote-unquote normal life. And I think we would all agree that in that normal time frame, all of us would say, God, I hate fucking people. And
100%. Yeah, you tricked me into getting into hospitality. So, yeah. Fucking people. Hate. And then I love it when, I was just talking to somebody about this. On a resume, when they're like, so what do you like about the job? And I'm like, I'm really just a people person. I love people. 2 weeks in, fuck everybody. I don't like you. I don't like you. You fuck off.
If you were hiring somebody and they put on their resume, what do you like most about your job? And they said, I fucking hate my job. I hate dealing with fucking people, but I'm good at it. You're like, exactly. You're hired.
Right.
You're hired.
Sounds fun. Come on, let's go. Yeah.
All right, Ruby. Number one thing you like doing in your spare time. And Jesus Christ.
Well, no, so I'm still a good person under this trash.
I know who you are.
So yeah, I love my family and all, but they get on my fucking nerves. I miss going out, and I didn't realize how much money until I looked at my checking account currently, how much I saved because not going out to bars and being with my idiot friends. I do just miss going out and not having an agenda, not having anything to do, just going out to have fun and being fun. And that is completely gone right now. We can't leave our house at all. And especially in the LGBTQ community, some of these people don't have family like we all do. Oh, I just spit now aggressively, shot fired. But a lot of these people don't have family like we do. So it's a little, it hits differently when when you feel bad. Like worst case scenario, I could go live with my mother in Land O'Lakes, Florida, which is, God forbid I love her, but I'm never going to do that. Right. I considered it. But these other people don't have that shit. So I miss going out and seeing the people that I don't know, considered an acquaintance at that time. Now it's made me realize that they're much more a family person that I would consider them more family.
All right, I got to get on my soapbox here, but you know I love you.
Oh boy.
Take away the alphabet. Every community, every subculture has the same ups and downs. People with family, people without family. I mean, you and I go back to a time when we had a group of people, and even in that subculture at the time we had people that didn't have family, and we were their family. So you know, that goes across boards, and I want people to know that we recognize that, and that, you know, we're not limited to any of our, you know, I hate to say subcultures because we're just one group of people, no matter who we are or what we do. And if there's anyone out there in that realm and they feel alone or feel left out, hit us up on Voodoo Chef, because, you know, that's what we're here for. We're just here for people. And if you're in that boat, and it, you know, I hear what you're saying, and that does, it hits really
don't
home.
call me. I have a very busy social schedule. Call Eric.
Ruby hates people. Eric doesn't mind people.
I don't pick up the phone for anybody. So good luck.
Don't call me, text me. I don't answer my phone. All right, we're going to do it real quick. What's that?
You have true facts. You're not wrong.
I don't answer my phone, but if you text me, I'll get around to it. All right, we're going to fly through the final five, and then we're going to go into some trivia here. So final five, we just asked 5 stupid questions of people. They really have no meaning, but hopefully will give us a little insight into Ruby. What's your favorite color?
Red. Is this like a fast question, or I have an explanation for it?
Either way, whatever you want to do.
It used to be orange, but I really thought that looked good on me at the time, and then I looked back and I look like a fucking idiot. So red now.
What color do you have on today?
This is red, and a pair of beautiful blue sweatpants.
So you got you're dressed upper today.
Yeah, just from the tits up. That's all you need out of my life. Mm-hmm.
All right, Coke or Pepsi?
Sprite. Well, if you ask for a Coke in San Francisco, that means something very different. And nobody serves Pepsi because they're cheaper than Coke. But yeah.
How do you eat your steak?
Medium.
Thank God. Someone said, well done. We had to exit them from the podcast.
Oh, yeah, they got cut.
You lived in the hood if you wanted it medium.
Hey,
Sorry.
do you remember you and I were out having dinner one night, and we were with someone else who's, I don't want to mention their name, but they were cutting their steak. They had their knife, like they were holding the fork like this, and they were hacking the fuck out of their meat with their knife. And you looked at me and you said, look at her, she's eating like a fucking wildebeest.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that or no?
I do not, but that's 100%. Yeah.
That's something you would say.
Well, we were at an awards banquet with like 1,000 people there.
Did it start with a J?
Well, that's who they worked for.
Did it start with an R?
Uh-huh. And they watched the fucking podcast, so now we're both fucking screwed. I might have to delete that.
Fuck it, it's fine. I don't remember. Look how far I've made it. Not far. But I don't care. No, chewing with my biggest pet peeve, random fact, is chewing with your mouth open or an aggressive eater. If I can hear you chomping, I'm gonna go, fuck who you are. If you could be the president, even Obama speaks with his mouth closed. But no.
So what do you think about mukbang videos? Do you know what those are?
Who? What's that?
Oh, they got videos of just people eating, and they have the sound amplified.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Somebody sent me a video of somebody trying to eat a pickle, and I immediately blocked them.
Oh.
All right.
Who the hell finds that shit entertaining?
This next one's going to be good then. What's your favorite sound?
Quiet. Is that a thing?
I don't believe that.
I can't say some of the other sounds.
That's what I was afraid of as I'm reading these out loud.
Stirring macaroni.
Ew! Ew! If it's that squashy down there, we got problems. No.
The fuck's on my face?
I don't like girls. You see?
All right. If you could have dinner with one person, living or dead, who would that be?
Whitney Houston. She's an animal, but I could just picture her at, I don't know, an Outback Steakhouse yelling, "Bobby! Can I get some brown bread, Bobby?" For no reason. Yeah, yeah. I want to enjoy, like, drugs or without drugs. Like, she was at everything. So, yeah, her. My whole neighborhood's going to be like, who the fuck is she? Why is she yelling for Bobby?
They're not used to that. All right, we're going to introduce you to old. I don't even want to know what you said.
Not Bobby, more of like a Tyrone or a Damien.
We're just bringing in Vinnie Mac. We're bringing in Vinnie Mac.
Okay, I need another drink. Can we
get another drink? Vinnie Mac, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
You ready for some trivia? Guys, it's Vinnie Mac. Vinnie Mac and I go way back. HR and I go back even farther. That's Vinnie Mac's wife, but Vinnie Mac is just a solid rock star dude. And we figured if anybody could beat Ruby Red Munro in pop culture trivia, it's you, Vinnie Mac. So you got to get our back here. You got to give us some voodoo love.
Ruby Red?
Ruby Red Munro.
Munro, I'm sorry.
Ruby Red stepped off to get another cocktail.
Oh.
She's on number 5. She's on number 5, so.
That's okay. Hey, I guess better for me. What's up, Eddie Mac?
How are you?
Good, sir. How'd you been?
Surprise! He's been great. How are you?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm tanked.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
So Ruby Red, Vinnie Mac, Ruby Red Munro.
Hi, Vinnie Mac. How are you?
All right. So we're gonna play some trivia here, and this is all pop culture trivia.
Ooh.
It is pop culture night here, and Vinnie Mac, you are playing against a true celebrity. Miss Ruby Red, just to recap everybody, Miss Golden State Panache 2017, Miss Gay San Francisco 2017. Ruby, one more time, where can we find you on social media?
I sucked a lot of dicks to get that far. You can find me at Miss Ruby Red, MS_Ruby, RUBY, or RED, if you don't know how to spell or went to public school, and on Craigslist and farmersonly.com.
Well, congratulations on your award.
And
made it this far.
Just so you know, Vinnie Mac is a legend in his own as well, making the best voodoo bacon on the planet. He gave me some to share, and I didn't share. I ate it all.
He did.
He makes an amazing signature rub using voodoo magic. His nickname is Vinnie Tang, Vinnie Mac, you name it. He's all things, everything when it comes to pimping out the voodoo love. So
that's true.
I will read. What's that?
I think we lost Ed. Ed's watching porn right now.
No, I was looking at some of your pictures because I had to kind of get a.
Like I said, porn. Got it.
Say, yeah, porn.
You're welcome.
You do know, Sinbad is all accustomed to this. You do know you're going to get scolded the next time you're at my house with my family. I know you don't care, but it's going to happen.
Let's do it. Buckle up, motherfuckers. I've gotten louder since then. It's fine.
Oh.
Louder and drunker. I've pretty much been drunk since March at this point, so I don't know.
About half of America has.
Right there with you. All right, so here's how it works. There's only 2 rules in trivia. No cheating, and you must have a cocktail. And again, that's an alcoholic beverage, Ruby. So,
got it. It counts.
I will read the question, and if you have the answer, you simply shout out your name, and Ed will recognize whoever called in first. Your own name, Ruby.
Okay, Clayton. Okay.
You're going to fuck us all up.
Usually, yeah.
We've been really good the whole time. I've been trying really hard.
It's fine.
All right, here we go. Pointless pop culture trivia. Question number 1. After working for the FBI, where he started as an agent and ended as a speechwriter for J. Edgar Hoover, he became a pop culture icon as chief creative officer for the likes of Liz Claiborne and Kate Spade and Company, as well as the on-air mentor for potential designers on Bravo's Project Runway?
Ruby.
Ruby, right?
Yep.
Tim Gunn?
Tim Gunn is correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh,
Wow.
go me. I was about to say Miss Congeniality. Okay.
I've never seen that movie.
You're missing out. Childhood favorite.
Or part 2.
Or 3. Go on.
All right, question number 2. On the episode Too Much Pressure of the series That's So Raven, Raven has a vision she will be in Pressure's music video, who is a hip-hop singer. In order to make her vision come true, she tricks Corey into taking dance classes. Raven ends up in Pressure's music video like her vision, but not in the way she thought. On what television series did Raven Simone get her start?
Ruby. Disney.
Oh,
Oh.
you are incorrect.
Oh.
Vince.
Vince,
Cosby
the
Show.
Cosby Show.
Yay.
You are correct.
Disney.
That might have been, you weren't born yet, Ruby.
Try and black that time out. He's a rapist.
Did you say? What did you say?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
That's it.
Allegedly.
Did you break the rules?
Being truth. She's truthful.
Did you break the rules?
No.
We have rules?
Remind me of the rules again.
You have to have a cocktail. And you can't
I
cheat.
told you in the pre-call.
Yeah, I forgot that part too.
No, you're good. You wouldn't break those rules because I know who you are.
Oh yeah, I don't say the C word that often.
All right, I do a lot. All right, so we're tied up. All right, here's question number 3. Long distance relationships have challenges that are sometimes difficult to overcome. But consider if the distance traveled was halfway around the world and a couple had just 90 days to decide whether the courtship should conclude with marriage. What type of visa is sought after on TLC's 90-Day Fiancé?
Green card? Oh, I'm sorry. Vince? Vince, green card?
Yeah.
Green card is not the answer.
That's for people getting jobs.
What type of visa is sought after, Ruby?
Suck a gold digger dick visa? I don't know.
I think that's what they're calling it now.
I think that's what it actually stands for. K1 visa, I think that's what it stands for.
A1 means all dick visa. Yeah, okay, got it.
It's a K1 visa.
Oh, K1, like KY. It's fine. Close enough.
That's what Rose is going to get with Ed, is the SD visa.
All right. Nobody got that right. Next question.
God.
You know, you get me in trouble.
I didn't do shit.
What an
I'm
arm,
sitting in the privacy of my own home being a woman.
Can we have another flashback moment?
Sure.
I don't know if I should do it. I'm afraid where you'll end up. All right, next question. Because I'll stop. You'll keep going.
Okay.
You know, I talked to Brandy. She was talking about having fish tacos for dinner.
Barf.
Where'd I go?
Barf. Fish tacos, I didn't know.
All right, let's keep going here.
Mine wasn't even done. Disgusting. Go on.
Name 3 of the current Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Ruby. Lisa Rinna, Lisa Vanderpump, Lisa, the new girl, Brandy Gamville, Kim Richards. Oh, I can name Kyle Richards. I can name the whole fucking cast.
I think Ruby got you on that one, Vinny
I
Mac.
have a lot of free time. Sorry, Vinny. A lot.
All right, so what's the
Yeah,
score?
2-1.
Ruby's up by 1?
2-1. Ruby's got this.
2-1.
All right. The ESPN docuseries The Last Dance is about what basketball goat?
Vince.
Vince.
Michael Jordan.
Anyone, yeah, for sure.
Michael Jordan.
Yep. Michael Jordan. We're tied.
All right, I got one last question, and this could take it here.
Oh, shit.
This year, for Survivor's 40th anniversary, they aired Winners at War. Each contestant was a past winner vying for the title Sole Survivor for a second time. Ultimately, Tony was named the winner, making him the only player in history, the second player in history to win twice alongside of Sandra. Who was the winner of the very first Survivor?
That was like 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Reba McEntire.
She came in second.
He went broke.
All right, I have an alternate question.
Okay.
A lightning round, if you will.
Ruby, do you want to take it or do you want to pass it to Vinnie Mac? You're the guest today. There's one question.
More power to you. If you knew that answer, go.
No. There's another question. One last question. Do you want it or do you want to pass it to Vinnie Mac?
Of course they want it. I don't have anything else to do.
We ended in a tie here, so we got to have a tiebreaker.
Then let's do it again. And ask both of us, and we'll both, whoever ends first.
All right. Tiebreaker question. For your money, what is the best seasoning and or sauce on the market today?
Lowry. Bye. I win.
Dirt.
Vinnie Mac, what is it?
Dirt.
He didn't say it correctly. What is VooDoo's dirt?
Oh, shit, I got Alex Trebek over here.
Hey, guys, it's all for grins and giggles. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Look at Vinnie Mac reaching for the dirt right now.
He's got it.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Ruby, thanks for, taking time and breaking away from, staying on lockdown and doing what you do.
Thank you, Ruby.
And, I cannot wait till you're back home. Hopefully you will be at a VooDoo event very soon.
Whenever I'm allowed out of the house, I'll do it again.
What are you complaining about?
She's ever allowed in the house.
Right. I'm not allowed out. I'm not allowed to leave this fucking house. Period. The government said stay home, so I'll see you in 2025 at this point.
Hey, you know what? If I'm alive.
The breasts look rough today. Happening. Don't look at my tits, guys. Yeah, I see you, Ed. Ed's jerking off over there.
Wow.
All right. On that note,
15 minutes.
hey guys, we will see you later. Thanks for coming, checking out the VooDoo Chef podcast.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
And there you have it, Booties, another episode of the VooDoo Chef podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with VooDoo Chef and all things VooDoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the VooDoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps are cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the VooDoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all VooDoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out VooDoo Chef Catering, custom-created events for every shape and size. Log on to VooDooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the VooDoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things VooDoo are in support of the VooDoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VooDooChefFoundation.com today.